It is now time to share more love in and around the community, around the world, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, because we are streaming live worldwide on GroovinRadioNY.com, ReggaeKingRadio.com, IslandFlavorRadio.com, CaribZone.com, ladies and gentlemen, and that take us worldwide. So yes, we're streaming live worldwide. It is time for our community engagement segment, and this morning we are giving back to charity. Yes, we're giving back to education this morning. The legacy continues. The American Foundation for the University of the West Indies, their 27th annual Legacy Gala, celebrating education and excellence. Yes, indeed. It will take place on April 18th, Thursday, April 18th. You don't want to miss it. Their executive director from the foundation has now joined us, Miss Anne-Marie Grant. Good morning, Anne-Marie. How are you?
Good morning to you, and good morning to your listeners. How are you?
I am blessed this morning. Welcome to Groovin Radio Online. This is your first time since we have transitioned to a online service. But as a matter of fact, Anne-Marie, we're also live over in New Jersey on 92.5 FM. And come 10 a.m. this Saturday morning, and every Saturday morning, we will be live on 98.9 FM in the Westchester area. So we're making rounds. We're making grounds. Good morning again.
Yes, congratulations, and this is my welcome, and welcome to the global stage. And we're excited about our 27th annual Legacy Awards Gala, committed to education.
Talk to us about the gala, Miss Anne-Marie Grant. This is the 27th annual one, and you know, for people who do events, 27 years is a long time to be presenting such a fabulous event, but it's for a great cause. It is for education. It is for the future, and not just the future of Jamaica. It's the future of the world, huh?
Yes, and I'm happy to say that even though I'm old, I haven't been doing it for 27 years. But I'm gonna go with the fact that, you know, having lived, I'm gonna take an excerpt from our president and say, you know, when you lived as long as I have, you've seen a lot of things, and experience does bring some assets to the table. So being old is not so bad sometimes. But we're excited. It's our 27th annual Legacy Awards Gala. Proceeds of this event fund scholarships for needy students at the University of the West Indies. And as you know, because you're a partner and a supporter of providing increased access to higher education for the disadvantaged and the impoverished young, talented men and women of the Caribbean, Groovin Radio is a valued partner. You know what we do with this money. We fund scholarships for needy students. They're young, talented, ambitious, and they just cannot afford the funds for a college education. And so proceeds of this event help to fund tuition for some of these students. It is still a situation in which in the Caribbean and in Jamaica in particular, more than 72% of the students who attend the University of the West Indies are the very first in their family, in their entire generation, from slavery, indentureship, whatever it is, to have access to a college education. And so it's something that we take pride in, and it is something that we are focused on and intent on continuing to do in order to ensure that we participate in the development agenda of the people of Jamaica and the people of the Caribbean.
You know, Anne-Marie, it is amazing that after so many years, there's so many people in Jamaica are still saying, I am the first one in my family to attend university. And it doesn't matter if it's the University of the West Indies, but it rings loud that after all these years, there are so many families in Jamaica who have not had one person from that family to have gone on to higher education. And when you hear things like that, Anne-Marie, how does that make you feel as a university grad?
It's a deafening gong. It's a loud and disturbing situation for anybody. And when we say higher education, and I'm glad you said it's not only about the University of the West Indies, because education is not about UWI. Education is for all. And so even though UWI is one of the better universities, but education is for all. And so when we say higher education, Rasclem, we're talking about whether you're anything past secondary school, anything past secondary school. And most of our people in the island of Jamaica in particular, and the statistics are there to prove, have not had access to education beyond high school. It doesn't mean, and we acknowledge with that, it doesn't mean that college education is for everybody and that you can't be successful without a college education. But what we are saying is that in today's environment, it gives you a leg up. It gives you a better chance to succeed. It gives you a chance to break the cycle of generational poverty. It gives you a chance to be more adept at whatever business and whatever undertaking that you choose to pursue. And so our gala is going to be on Thursday, April 18th, as you say. It's going to be at 583 Park in New York. And we are excited because, as you know, at this event, we honor distinguished Caribbean nationals. And this year, our list of honorees is headed by none other than the President of Guyana, His Excellency Mohammed Irfan Ali, who happens to be a UWI alum.
Continue.
And our other honorees include Don Christian, a Jamaican who is a major partner in PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the biggest auditing IT entities in the globe. He is a major partner in what. So listen, Jamaicans just enough and broad, and we just everywhere. And only enough in personality and enough in presence, but we are also ambitious and we are global leaders. We can be found in every sector across the globe, in every type of industry and commerce. And so we honor Don Christian. We honor Michelle Chowtai. Might not sound Jamaican, but Michelle Chowtai, a Jamaican woman making waves, certainly a pioneer in the business of finance, and she is a managing director of Clearview Capital Partners. We go on to honor Reverend Patrick Perrin, who is a distinguished UWI alum, retired officially from the ministry in terms of pastoral responsibility, but definitely very active in our community here. That's Reverend Patrick Perrin. Darren Skinner, another Jamaican who is a senior partner in Arnold and Porter. Rastem Arnold and Porter is one of the largest legal firms in the United States. Jamaican partner. Darren Skinner, Esquire, as you would say, lawyer, a big repute. And I just want to quickly talk a little bit about Darren Skinner, because Darren Skinner for us represents the epitome of the Caribbean experience. Darren Skinner was born in Jamaica, went to UWI in Barbados. One of his parents, his mother is from Guyana, his father is from Trinidad. In that gentleman's life, he is the origin of 4 different Caribbean countries, and it makes us a people from a region that you cannot count out. You cannot count out the Caribbean. Whether you're from Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, St. Kitts, St. Vincent, Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla, Montserrat, Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, the Bahamas, and as you know, I'm calling all of the UWI countries. You cannot count us out as Caribbean people. We are a significant factor on the global stage, and we continue to make waves.
Yes, indeed.
And shout out to our honorary portfolio, but none other than Anthony Mark Dennis Hart. We know him as Mark Hart, and you know him, Clem, because he's chairman of Caribbean Producers Jamaica Limited.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, Anne-Marie, when I look at your list of honorees, and as always, you have gone above and beyond, and you keep reaching higher and higher every single year. But every single one of these individuals, ladies and gentlemen, deserve to be honored. You know, you look at the Guyanese president, and you look at what Guyana is going through today. You know, some will say Guyana is sinking. Some will say Guyana is at war with Venezuela. I mean, the struggles continue for Guyana, and you know, it's gonna be an amazing evening, Miss Anne-Marie Grant, to bring the Guyanese president here and honor him, as you said, a UWI alum, and folks, we urge you. we urge you to support education. One of the things that I've always said, and I keep saying it, the more you know, the better it is. And it doesn't matter what the higher education field that you get involved with, because every single field is important. You know, some folks feel, Anne-Marie, that if they do higher education and they go into the construction field, it's not that pretty. But again, think about it, folks. Think about it. If it wasn't for construction, where would we go to school? If it wasn't for construction, where would we drive? If it wasn't for construction, where would we live? So sometimes people think that higher education is only to be a doctor or to be a lawyer or to be a judge or whatever. But they don't see the other areas. They don't see the technical areas that is so important in our life, Miss Anne-Marie Grant. So higher education is not just the fancy things that some of us has come to just love and tell our children that you must be an attorney or you must be a doctor. You know, it goes way beyond that, ladies and gentlemen. So the more you know, the better it is. On Thursday, April 18th, the Legacy Gala continues. It is being presented by the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies. It's the 27th annual Legacy Gala. And proceed, yes, it goes to education. 212-759-9345. 212-759-9345. If you cannot make it to the gala, and not every one of us can go, not all of you listening can go, you can still make a donation. 212-759-9345 to support education and education beyond Jamaica. Miss Grant?
Absolutely. And just to say, log on to our website at www.afuwi.org. That's A for American, F for Foundation, U for University, W for West, I for Indies.org. And you can make a donation and find out more about the gala and the work of the foundation. I just quickly want to say, Reslim, that as you're on a new platform, we're also in a new space. We have relocated. Our offices are within the Jamaican consulate. Big shout out to CG. And want to say our address is, we are now at 300 East 42nd Street. That's 300 East 42nd Street, Suite 519. We are in the offices of the Jamaican consulate.
Indeed.
And we just relocated. That's 300 East 42nd Street, Suite 519, New York, 10017. Drop a check in the mail if you don't want to go online. Call us and find out how you can help to advance the development agenda of the Caribbean and Jamaica in particular. And Rastam, I just want you to give me 1 minute. I want to talk about President Ali, because it is important that we understand that we are one Caribbean. He is a staunch advocate for things that are crucial to how we survive as a people in the Caribbean, especially at these times. He's an advocate for climate change. He's an advocate for climate justice. He's an advocate for security and security justice. He's an advocate for food security. He's a climate for reparatory justice, whether for Africa, India, China, and as you know, our people are from those countries and those regions. He's a climate for health and wealth and healthy lifestyle. He's a climate for housing. And so here is somebody who's championing some of the basic necessities, some of the basic elements that as a people in a developing region should be available to one and all.
Indeed.
And so when we have leaders who are speaking on the global stage and advocating about the things that we ought to be entitled to as Caribbean nationals and the things that we have been deprived of because of our history and our ancestry, whether indentured slave or slave without pay or slave, yes. And there's a thing in America that is being talked about now by some people are talking about slaves who got paid. Come on now, Caribbean nationals. We must stand up and understand our history. And do Marcus Garvey proud. Yes? He is one of the loudest voices on the global stage.
Indeed.
And so education, Rustin, education. We encourage people. Support AFUWI. Log on to www.afuwi.org and make a donation. No contribution is too small.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And one final thing, Anne Marie, before you go, and it's a yes or no answer. So the date for the March 11th date for the up and running of the consulate and your office is still in effect, huh?
We're ready and raring to go.
Yes, indeed. So give Miss Anne Marie Grant a call, ladies and gentlemen. 212-759-9345. That's 212-759-9345. They're in a new space, 2nd Avenue, right? 300 East 42nd Street at the corner of 2nd Avenue in Manhattan. 212-759-9345. Thank you so much, Anne Marie Grant. See you soon, and we'll also talk soon. One love.
Thank you so much. Good evening, good morning to your listeners. Wishing you an amazing weekend. Be safe and well.
One love. You too, Miss Anne Marie Grant. That was Miss Anne Marie Grant, the Executive Director from the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies, talking about the 27th Annual Legacy Gala, which takes place on Thursday, April 18th. 212-759-9345. It is